KISS rolled into town on that Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and 7 semis worth of equipment rolled into the Cadillac High School parking lot. When the kids got there on Thursday morning and saw these 7 semis, they had no clue as to why in the world all these trucks were in the parking lot. And the bottom line was, it was all the equipment that KISS brought with them. Gigantic amplifiers, special effects, flamethrowers, the giant KISS sign, all the electronic equipment that you needed to do a concert like that. So you had 7 semis worth of outfitting that we were going to try to fit into the Cadillac High School gym. We got most of it in. Well, first of all, let me just give you some background into some of the things that we had to do in order to make the KISS show take place. First of all, you just don't plug KISS into a wall socket. We needed power. So we had a giant cable that was about this big, and it snaked out of the gym, and there's a transformer in Cadillac High School just down the hall from the gym. One of the road people from KISS had a pair of rubber boots on, and he gave me a pair of rubber gloves. And he had like 2 battery cable post connectors, and he said, okay, here's what we're going to do for power. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to clamp onto this transformer. If I guess right, we have power. If I guess wrong, I have rubber boots, you have rubber gloves, pull me off this thing because I'll probably die. So he clamped them on, and lo and behold, he guessed right, we had power. Well, then we needed fog. Where do we get fog? We need dry ice for fog. Well, what happened was the nearest place we could get dry ice was an ice cream plant in Clare. So we sent a person down, and they filled their car full of dry ice on the day of the show. This was kind of odd because it was fall. So they wore a ski jacket to keep warm because all this ice was in their car. But by the same token, they couldn't roll down the windows because they didn't want the ice to melt. But if they kept the windows up, then it fogged the inside of the car. So they literally drove with a car full of ice, their head hanging out the window, all the way from Clare to Cadillac. What about the big KISS sign? You know, there's a giant KISS sign that hovers over the stage. At that time, there was no garage door in the Cadillac High School gym, so they were going to bring the sign in through the double doors. But there was a problem. There was a post there, and the post was made of wood. And I heard a chainsaw rev up. And I came running out, and the 2 road crew members were just about ready to saw a big hole in the door. And I told them they couldn't do that. They could bring whatever they could bring in through the doors, but not that. So the only piece of equipment we didn't bring in was the huge KISS sign. The art students made us a big KISS sign out of cardboard that we put behind the stage. The other thing that we needed that the band said they wanted to do was a new special effect just invented for Cadillac. I was not supposed to know what it was and didn't. What they did was they took confetti and put it in a big net above the stage. And they wanted, in the last song, Rock and Roll All Night, Party Every Day, they wanted to let this go and blow it around so that it was like a snowstorm. But to do that, we needed compressed air. And the only place you could get compressed air were on ambulances in Cadillac. So we told the ambulance guys, we need compressed air. And they said, here's what we'll do. If we're not out on a call when that song needs to be played, we'll come to the Cadillac gym, we'll take our compressed air, we'll blow the confetti around, make a snowstorm, and then we'll rush back to our base, refill the tanks so that we're ready to go. And that's how we got the KISS Snowstorm. That's a signature closing on all their concerts to this day. They do it at every concert, and it was invented specifically for Cadillac, Michigan. The band arrived via limousine that they had gotten in Detroit. A promoter named Steve Glantz arranged for the limousines to come to Cadillac, and they arrived in Cadillac, and when the band got here, we put them in limousines and made them arrive. The Cadillac High School band made a corridor along with the students, and they were playing Rock and Roll All Night, Party Every Day, which is a tremendous accomplishment when you consider it's a tough song to play with oboe and tuba and glockenspiel. They came into the building. They took pictures with everyone. To this day, you can see the photos of KISS coming down the hall with all the all the accoutrements on, and everybody in KISS makeup, and the football players in their football outfits. They did everything to make everyone feel very comfortable. They were total gentlemen the whole time. It was a great experience. The next day, they arrived on a Thursday, we did a concert, and the next day they went to a civic breakfast where all the city fathers, the city manager, the mayor, the superintendent of schools, the high school principal, John Laurent, everyone appeared in makeup on the dais, and they each got a plaque. Now the plaque said, honorary member, KISS, and it had your name on it. The school also got a plaque, and that's kind of an interesting story also. The school got a plaque that said Cadillac High School official members of KISS, and it was in a display case in the school hall. That plaque was stolen shortly after it was put on the wall, and it has never been found. To this day, we don't know where it is. We continue to look on eBay and all kinds of places, but that plaque has never resurfaced, that general plaque to Cadillac High School. So they appeared at the civic breakfast. Later that morning, because the homecoming game was going to be Friday night, they went, and we used to do a homecoming parade at 10:30 in the morning. So on Friday morning, they appeared in the parade, and that's where you see them in the video that you've seen of the floats going down Mitchell Street, and KISS on those floats throwing candy to the crowd and everything, and the crowd following the float. That all happened about 10:30, 11 o'clock that morning. Again, unbeknownst to me, they had planned a tremendous exit from Cadillac High School. When the floats came into the stadium, KISS got off, and out over the lake came a huge helicopter. All of us were flabbergasted. We had no idea any of this was going to go on. The helicopter landed in the middle of the stadium, and KISS got on and waved everyone, and away they went. And as they left, they took handbills, which were on 8 by 11 white sheets, and it said, Cadillac, KISS loves you, and it was signed by all 4 members of the band. And they threw those out of the helicopter. Well, those have become collector's items today, and I'm sure people had them in their backyards and just said, oh, there's more trash, and threw them away. No telling what, if they'd have saved those original copies, how much they could get for them on eBay.
When they actually came, you know, it was just kind of a surreal experience, you know. School was, the school day was shortened, and it was a big deal when the helicopter landed on the football field and so forth. And kids, not just the high school kids, but kids in general, all had their faces painted, and including my daughters, who were all in elementary school at the time. We went, and I was just overwhelmed. I mean, here was this whole wall, you know, of amplifiers all stacked one on top of another, just a bank of them. And I'd never seen such a thing, and I certainly hadn't experienced such a thing. And it was physically painful. It hurt. And your ears kind of protected themselves by sort of half shutting down, and so it was kind of like being underwater. That's the image I remember. The sound was kind of distorted, as if you were underwater. And we didn't stay very long because it was so, you know, it pressed on you physically. You know, the amplification. So we came home, and from here, you know, which is over a mile from the gym, we could hear it. So that's how loud it was. We could hear it here when we got home.